Okay everyone, so in this next video, let's go and try to talk about how you can go and add comments in the Scratch programming language. Comments are very useful for us to be able to go and remind ourselves on what a specific script is used for. These are lines of code or text that will be intentionally ignored by the programming language that you're using, and it is a great way to leave notes to yourself and to other people who will be working on your project so that they will be able to go and figure out what the code does. In the Scratch programming language, we can go and create a comment by adding one of our code blocks here and then right clicking on the code block, and you would see here we have duplicate this block, add a comment, delete a block. So if we go and click on add a comment, now we can go and add some text here. In other programming language, like for example JavaScript, a comment will typically look like this. So let me just increase the size of our comment block here. In JavaScript, for us to be able to ignore the remainder of the text on the current line, in the current line of code that we have written, we maximize the use of 2/. So this is called in JavaScript, this is an in-line comment. And you can make a multi-line comment beginning with a / asterisk and ending it with an asterisk and a /. And you can go and use this format in the JavaScript language. Anything that is in between this / opening line of the comment and the asterisk, we also have here the asterisk and the / will be considered as a comment and will not be rendered by the browser if you will be running your code. One keynote when you're coding, as you write your code, you should be regularly adding comments so that you will be able to clarify the functions of part of your code. Good commenting can help communicate the intent of your code, both for others and for your future self. Now, I just want to emphasize, you don't have to do this in the Scratch programming language, and this is just in comparison with the JavaScript programming language or scripting language, just so that you'll have an idea that if we go and try to write our scripts, write our code in other programming language, you will be encountering the term, this is an inline comment, and this is a multi-line comment. We can actually delete this, and then we can write down here in this comment on what do we want the cat to do once we click on the green flag. Just remember everyone, we are trying to communicate with the computer, and the way we do that, we write our code, so that's how we will be able to provide the computer the instructions that we want it to do. So let's say, in this case, I want the cat to reposition itself to the center of the screen or the stage that we have here once we go and try to click on the green flag here. So what we can do here, we can actually write pseudocode that will involve you trying to translate what you want to happen and then translate it into code. You want to write down what you want to happen and then translate it into the code that we would be applying in our program here. So let's say, in this case, I would want to say when this cat or when this block, code block, is clicked, I want the cat to go, cat should go to the center of the screen. Now that we have tried to visualize the logic of the instructions that we want the computer here, specifically in our Scratch desktop here, and we want it to do the task here that we have specified in our comment, we can now go and translate it into code. So when this code block is clicked, meaning the green flag, the cat should go to the center of the screen. So how do we go and try to do that? We know that we are using the Cartesian coordinates here, and if we try to go to this bottom area here, you would see that we have coordinates, the x and y coordinates. And if I try to go and drag this into the center or onto the center, you would see that this coordinates changes. And what I want to happen will be to go and position the cat to the center once we try to go and click on the green flag. So that would mean it should have a value, the x coordinate should have a value of 0, and the y coordinate should have a value of 0. So if I go put that back here, that's not yet happening. Now let's go and try to implement that. And we can try to go and implement that by going to the motion code block or motion group of code blocks. And we can see here that we have a code block here that gives the instruction to the computer to move to a certain position on our stage. So we have the x and y coordinates. So let's say I would want it to go to the 200 position of the x coordinate. You would see that the cat move on the bottom right corner of the screen, and that will be the x position of the sprite that we have here based from the coordinates, the x coordinate. And if I want it to have y coordinate of, let's give this this 50. Let's see what will happen once I click on this. You would see that it went up. So if I go give it a negative 50 and click on this, it went down. So that means we have positive values on the top area of the screen, and we have negative value for the y coordinates if we go and look up the bottom area of the screen. Okay, and we have negative value on the left side on the x coordinate, and we have positive values on the right side of the screen. Now if we want to go and place the cat on the center, once we click on the green flag, we now just need to accomplish this second instruction that we gave our computer through the comment that we have here. So we have wrote here, when this code block is clicked, we want the cat to go and move to the center of the screen. So perhaps we can go and try to shorten this comment and just say here, move the cat to the center of the screen. Or you can say move cat to the center. So depending on how you want to write your comment, as long as it will be comprehensible and you would be able to achieve the goal that you want to go and accomplish based from the instructions that you have given the computer to perform, so that the computer will be able to perform the instructions that you have given here. So we know that we want it to go to the 0 coordinates of the x axis, and the y coordinates will also be having the value of 0. So let's go and change this to 0 and 0. Now let's go and attach our code block here. Okay, I'm going to attach it here. You would see that it goes and tries to automatically attach it once I'm dragging it, and I go and try to release my mouse button, my left mouse button, it automatically attaches to the code block that we have here on top. So now we have completed the instructions that we wrote here, and we have translated it into a script in the Scratch programming language, a series of instructions that we have written here so that we can go and move the cat to the center once we click on the green flag. So if I go and click on the green flag here, you would see now that we have our cat and it was moved to the center coordinate or coordinates of our stage of our screen here. And you would see that the value here of the x coordinate is 0, and the value of the y coordinate is also 0. So that's how we can go and write our comments in the Scratch programming language, and at the same time, this is how we can go and write pseudocode first. We can maximize the use of comments so that we can go and try to put it in human readable form. The script that we would want to write will be human readable, and then we can go and try to translate the comments that we have here into actual code that will be accomplishing the instructions or the task that we want the computer to perform. So that will be all for this video. Thank you, and see you on our next lesson.